Welcome back to the Otaku Podcast, the podcast for otakus by otakus. Today we got another rendition of Weeb Reviews with Dakota once again, and joined as always by Braxton.
Hello.
Hi.
Alright, this time we're going to go through My Hero Academia, but we are going to just discuss a lot of things, because 4 seasons to discuss. 4 seasons of crazy things to discuss.
Yes, we are going to up the pace on how quickly we're discussing things. Last episode, we only thought we did 2. It turns out we covered 4 episodes. We didn't realize that. Sorry for the confusion. But we have done a lot more research this time, and we're able to just very quickly analyze the first season so we can move on to the second season, the next episode.
Oh boy. Alright. So everybody who's seen My Hero Academia has pretty much heard of all of these arcs that we're going to be talking about, so we're just going to briefly go over what they are about and discuss what we like or what we didn't like about the arcs.
Hopefully we're setting a better pacing for future Weeb reviews.
Yes.
Because the first episode was very slow going. We realize this now, so we're going to try and speed it up a bit and not go as in-depth. But the 4th season, once the dubs come out, because me and Dakota are watching the dubs, I know, burn us in hell for that.
You know what? The thing is I don't watch dubs because I find subs to be superior. But okay, I will watch dubs at times.
I'm not a weeb.
Yes, you are.
You can't tell me All Might's
Dakota.
voice in the dub is not
Okay,
perfect.
I will admit.
I am here.
Eat this.
Pop's face up on the
When Midoris swallows hair. Ooh.
You know, last episode Dakota said that. I called him out for it. You just kept on talking.
Yep.
So, okay, what?
All right, without further ado, we already went over the entrance exam arc in the previous episode, so now we're going to go over the quirk apprehension, the battle trial, and the USJ arc. All 3 of them this episode.
Would you like to start quirk apprehension?
All right, quirk apprehension. Izuku starts to learn how to use his quirk more in these next few episodes, and he somehow avoids getting expelled by Shota with his teacher, Aizawa. Eraserhead? I don't like you're smiling at me. Stop. I know Shota means little boy. We're not talking about that. I seen that smile. Anyway, his teacher, Eraserhead, he's able to erase anybody's quirk for as long as he has, for anybody's quirk that's in his vision until he blinks.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that the last episode.
I just wanted to briefly go over the power real quick. So the quirk apprehension test, basically, the Aizawa tested class 1A, which is the best class. Midori got put in that. And takes them through a bunch of different practical uses, like how fast they can run using their quirks to their full ability, how far they can jump, how far they can throw a baseball, a bunch of other things, and tries to figure out their practical applications.
During these exams, Midoriya is the worst scoring on everything, and then it comes to the baseball throw.
Yes. The reason why he's the worst scorer is because he can really only use his power once right now before he just shatters the bones in whatever part of the body he used it in.
Yeah, because he could either give it his all in one event or not give it his all and just use his natural abilities in all the events.
Yeah, it's either a 100% or 0%. He can't control how much power he's outputting.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous at this point because that much power would put him over the top for anything really, but he doesn't know how to use it correctly. So after that, he'd just be immobilized, and Aizawa mentions this.
Yes.
During the
and Aizawa stated that the bottom student would be expelled from his class, no exceptions. That's what he said.
Correct.
So, would you like to take the ball throw?
Going forward,
Good transition.
What?
I said good transition.
To make it really quick to discuss, Midoriya goes to use his quirk to throw the ball so that he doesn't fail. Aizawa cancels his quirk.
Because he was using it in his whole arm, which would have just destroyed the bones in his arm.
And then Midoriya turns around and throws the ball, but tips off with one finger, shattering the finger effectively.
Only putting the power in basically above the first knuckle of the finger. So just like the fingertip, only the power in that to launch the ball into the atmosphere, basically.
I believe Midoriya was still the bottom scorer.
Yes,
though.
he was.
And Aizawa took a liking to him at this point. A lot
He's
of
seen
people
his
believe.
potential. That's the only reason why he did not expel him.
And All Might even states that he knows that Aizawa's not afraid to expel a student on the first day. He's done it every year.
Well, the previous year, one of the previous years, he expelled his entire class.
Yeah.
Just kicked him out.
He's not against kicking students out for small things. He just took a liking to Midoriya all of a sudden.
All right. After that, Kachan, or Bakugo, learns that Midoriya has quote-unquote been hiding his quirk the whole time. That's what he thinks, because Midoriya has never shown it because he just recently got it. And that pisses him off. He's incredibly upset about that.
Insanely upset.
To the point of insanity, almost upset.
And that honestly segues us into the battle trial arc
Yes, it
really
does.
well. So they take their first class under All Might. Well, it's not their first class, but they take their first lesson with All Might, which is battle training.
And they all received their hero costumes that they designed too, which was pretty cool.
A lot of them got really cool stuff. They even did some fan service with Ochakos.
Yes, a skin-tight outfit. But Midoriya wore the one his mother made.
Just perfect age for me.
Yes, Midoriya.
14, Baylor. They're 14.
Midoriya
Maybe
wears
wait
the
4 years.
outfit that his mother made for him when he was a child. Well, not even when he was a child. She went through his notebook.
He went through his notebook to see his designs on his character outfit and then made it because, it's kind of what mothers do. They're nice. All right. Midoriya and... Yeah, this is segueing us into the Midoriya and Bakugo fight.
Oh.
Midoriya and Ochako, best girl for Midoriya, in my opinion. He wants Toga, but she's a yandere, and she'll probably kill Midoriya. So that's the reason why I say no to her. She's pretty, but that's it.
I don't know.
She's really cute.
She is. I will say that, but she's also a psychopathic murderer.
She just wants friends.
No, it's a bit more than friends. But,
And
all
blood, okay?
Yes. So Bakugo and Ida, which his quirk is Ingenium, we went over that in the previous episode. They're on a team also. There is a villains and a heroes team. The villains have to protect a bomb, while the heroes have to try and either round up the villains or disarm it within a certain amount of time.
Sounds like search and destroy.
And
Kind of.
getting into, Bakugo is he's not much thinking. He's still pissed at Midoriya.
Ditches his teammate to hunt Midoriya down through the building. It's all in a building, by the
He
way.
leaves Ida at his post.
Completely disregards his teammate not caring.
Leaves
Just
Ida at
hunt
the
him.
post on the bomb, which kind of screws over Ida if the heroes show up.
Well, I want to say Ida played the villain part perfectly. He even put on a voice and acted as a true villain, which was nice. It was cool.
Bakugo also played perfectly, though.
Well, that's
into
just
it.
his natural
That's his
personality.
natural.
I mean, yeah.
He wanted blood from Midoriya,
Yes.
really.
Oh, yeah.
And when they start, it's pretty quiet at first, and then
Midoriya's kind of just running and hiding from Bakugo
yeah.
because he knows he can't beat him head to head.
Midoriya, though, has studied all sorts of quirks, including Bakugo's, and he's watched Bakugo fight time and time again, and he's had Bakugo beat him up over and over
And over. So he kind of knows how Bakugo, his fighting style.
He knows he starts off with
With a right hook.
Right
That's his
hook.
fighting style. He starts off with a right hook. So when he first confronts Bakugo, it's to give Ochako time to get to the bomb. Bakugo leads off with the right hook. Midoriya grabs his arm and flips him and slams him to the ground.
All Might and the other Class 1A students are watching, and All Might is secretly cheering for Midoriya to do well.
Well, of course, he's a successor, Not supposed to be biased as a teacher, but he is.
Yeah, he's not really saying anything. This is all thinking.
In his head, good job, Midoriya.
Good job, kid. You know what you're doing.
Good job.
Eat this.
Eat this.
When does that come up?
That was in the entrance exam arc. That was the third episode, actually, when he's training.
But it comes
Pulls off
back
air.
eventually.
Eat this.
Okay.
Okay, so
So I'm getting close to watching that too.
they really do get into the fight. Midoriya runs and hides. Uraraka's looking for the bomb.
Yes. The direct confrontation, though, is amazing to watch. Because he's kind of just... Midori is basically dodging all Bakugo's attacks because they're incredibly powerful. And he's just trying to bide for time for Ochako to get the bomb.
We also learn, though, that Bakugo is an incredibly... he analyzes, too. He doesn't...
Yes.
He's not just powerful. He can analyze. And
He's
he
smart.
corners...
His just personality is bad.
He basically corners Midoriya into an undodgeable attack, whereas Uraraka has found the bomb, and Midoriya contacts her and says, hey, get ready to make a leap for the bomb. Use zero gravity on yourself, right?
Something along the lines of that, yes.
And so Bakugo shoots off a full-strength blast at him.
Yes,
And
because
Midoriya-
the gloves in his outfit store his sweat, which he therefore sparks and creates explosions. So the gloves that look like grenades, he pulls the pin, it's literally like a giant grenade blast. It's massive.
Midoriya hits a Detroit smash,
Yes.
knocking
Not-
the explosion.
Not on him. Did not punch Bakugo. He acted like he was going to punch and switched into an uppercut and punched through the roof of the building.
Wow.
Punched the full force of the explosion plus the attack,
Blasted both of them upwards, therefore destroying several floors.
surprising Ida, giving Uraraka the chance to grab the bomb, and making them win or pass the exam.
Wow. Jeez.
Because Midori is a strategist.
And I think that takes us past the battle trial. Oh, wait, no. There's Sports Festival.
Oh,
Oh, we almost forgot about that.
can't forget about that.
Yes, so there's a big sports festival for 1A where... Actually, wait.
That's after the USJ.
Oh, I'm sorry. My notes referenced it. I got confused. That is after the USJ, so that'll be on the next episode.
Okay, so, you want to go ahead?
Yes.
Take off.
All right. The USJ arc, basically, Aizawa takes his class out to the USJ, which is basically this big building that's made to simulate disasters, earthquakes, tsunamis, fires, basically any disaster you can think of. And he's taking them to help them learn how to use their quirks as in a more practical application, just like the quirk apprehension test, but in saving people and figure out how to go through disasters and fight in those disasters without harming civilians.
That's actually pretty helpful.
But they're not there very long
Well,
before something
yeah.
goes wrong.
Oh no.
They're about to start, right? They meet their instructors, Zero?
I believe Zero. She can create black holes
Or maybe
out
it's
of the
black
tips
hole.
of her fingers, I believe. Her whole body is a black hole, so she's inside of a suit. So if it
That
gets,
keeps her stabilized.
Yes.
And so they get there, they're talking to her. She's like, okay, well, let's get started. Boom. Villain. Tomura, Shigaraki, and his League of Villains show up.
This will be later known as the USJ Attack.
But the group consists of him, Tomura Shigaraki.
Yes. We don't necessarily know his name yet. He's basically covered in a bunch of different hands. He has blue hair.
Oh, that's Tomura.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't know his name.
Oh,
though.
we didn't know his name
Yeah.
yet.
Same thing with Shigaraki. He is basically like this purple smog that can teleport.
That's not
things,
Shigaraki.
right?
Tomura Shigaraki.
Ah, I'm so sorry.
The smog guy, I don't know his name.
I can't remember his
exactly.
name either.
It starts with a K, but then they brought in Nomu and they brought
Well,
someone
we
else.
don't. Well, Nomu has not appeared yet.
Oh, true.
Aizawa leaps into action, tells the students to run, get help as he goes, because League of Villains came with like hundreds of just random, kind of like street level thug villains.
Oh.
So Aizawa is there using the cloth around his neck to basically tie up and beat up all the villains as he's buying time for his class to escape.
The USJ had the USJ and UA had scheduled for All Might to be there as well,
Yes, but he was late. He was running late because he was saving some people in the city.
which used up all his time in his muscle form, and he needed to rest.
Yes.
Oof.
And so the villains heard that All Might's supposed to be there, and they're like, we're here with a secret weapon. We'll separate all the students into the different disaster zones.
areas and systematically eliminate all the students.
Students, not going to be a problem now that they're
Yeah.
all separated out.
Yes, they basically send like 1 or 2 students off to a random area with the guy with purple smog because he can teleport people.
So the group that you primarily know so far would be Midoriya, Sue, and Mineta.
Sue is the frog girl. Manetta's just
Sticky
the worst
balls.
character. But the sticky balls, yes. So they're in the like tsunami quote unquote area. They're on a boat in the middle of like a lake kind of.
Surrounded with water villains, but the water villains don't know their quirks.
Yeah, the water villains. They're they have powers that related to water. You don't really go in
Okay,
depth. So
yeah.
one kind of looks like a fish, I believe.
Yeah.
And stuff with other things like that.
And Sue has an advantage in a water area,
Because frog.
Frog.
but Mineta's panicking, and
Because he's a little bitch boy.
Wow.
Midoriya is strategizing immediately.
Yes, immediately. That's always what he does.
I'm gonna have
Strategize.
to- I'm gonna have to tick yes on the explicit box once again.
Well, why wouldn't you say explicit? Oh. Okay, even if you don't say it's explicit, plenty of videos that aren't checked explicit have curse words.
Okay.
Look at like Jacksepticeye, Markiplier. They're not like age restricted explicit or anything.
Yeah, but we're on Spotify. This is
Oh, this is Spotify. Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot this was going on Spotify too. Yes, never mind. That might have to be checked explicit, or we can just kind of bleep it out.
Just gonna leave it as it is.
All right,
Okay.
that'll be fine.
And okay, so where were we? Mineta's panicking. Midoriya's
Yes.
strategizing.
Yes.
And so they come up with a plan. The plan is, does Midoriya use a move? And
Yeah, does Midoriya sacrifice one of his limbs to
Drain.
help them escape?
it basically creates a whirlpool.
Yes, he basically punches at the water, makes a huge whirlpool. Mineta's freaking out, throwing his sticky balls. I did air quotations there. Sticky balls, like grabbing the balls off his head, throwing it in, and it basically ties up the villains because the balls are sticky to everybody but him. So,
Yeah.
So
he
it's
throws them in the whirlpool, and they're swimming around. All the villains get stuck together.
so the quirk itself is useful, but the character himself is not
Character is
very
awful.
useful. But getting into it, so they've just defeated like a ton of villains all at once.
I think it was like 4 or 5. It wasn't.
It wasn't a
too
ton?
much. No, it was only like 4 or 5 because they. Shigaraki, that was the name of the League of Villains dude. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm terrible at the naming. Shigaraki just assumed that since they were just students, they'd be able to be taken out by a handful of low level.
But he also told the low levels, be careful.
Be careful
We don't know
because
these
they are
kids' quirks.
they are UA students. So
And then you get a few quick glimpses of what's going on with everybody else. You
Yup.
figure out
You s-
Kaminari's weakness, which I love.
yes, overuses it. He turns dumb and he's just
dumb.
walking around with his thumbs up in the air. Yay! Yay! And then it kind of switches back to Aizawa. He's still fighting all the low-level thugs. He's getting quite exhausted. And he tries to launch an attack at Shigaraki.
They
and
pull a "That's how mafia works," and Nomu shows up.
Nomu.
Level
That's how the
100
mafia works.
gangster.
on equal footing with All Might. That's how powerful Nomu is.
And
Lordy.
so students are starting to see what's going on. Aizawa gets his
Yeah.
face.
Well, Aizawa launches a punch at Shigaraki, and then Nomu appears. The punch hits his chest, does absolutely nothing. Nomu grabs his head and slams him into the ground, and repeatedly keeps smashing his
So-
face against the concrete.
At this point, I thought Aizawa was gonna die.
Oh, I full-heartedly assumed he was gonna die, which
And
really sucked.
It was pretty sad because you've made connections to characters in the beginning. It's you're half a season in now at this point. You're like, I'm liking this character, and he just starts getting the crap kicked out of him.
Yikes.
Yes. So, Midoriya and some of the other classmates see that happening to Aizawa, and they want to help. They're like, crap, we can't let him die. That's not right. So they try to launch in and help. They're able to take out quite a handful of the low-level thugs. They launch a few attacks at Shigaraki and the small guy. God, we got to remember his name next episode.
Yeah.
And
So at this point, there's students who are feeling the fight or flight at this moment. They're like,
Yes.
we need to decide to fight or run.
so
But the doors,
Sorry.
the building's on lockdown. They can't escape.
Oh,
Except
the building's
for,
not on lockdown yet. Well, the small guy, the dude that can teleport, is guarding the exit.
Oh.
So they give they tell Ida, which has, he has the engines in the legs so he can run really fast. They tell him to run, get help, because he's the fastest.
Go get All Might.
Run with all your money.
That's an inside joke.
Yeah, I know. I didn't.
We made a poem, and it was quite entertaining. Maybe we'll share it on a later episode.
Probably at the finale of Weeb.
On the finale, we'll read the poem, right? All right. So Midoriya launches a full-powered strike at... Well, okay. So the Nomu was fighting Aizawa. Well, not really fighting anymore. Just smashing his head against the concrete. Shigaraki tries to grab Sue. Because you see earlier in the fight, Aizawa gets grabbed by Shigaraki, and the skin on his arm basically disintegrates.
Jesus.
He can petrify anything. He puts all 5 of his fingers on. It'll just turn it to dust, basically. So he sees Shigaraki leaping for Sue's face, about to grab, and he's like, oh crap, I gotta stop this, and launches a full power strike, but the Nomu steps forward and takes Midoriya's hit and doesn't even flinch.
And somebody, it was Shigaraki or one of the villains, noticed, wow, that was really similar
powerful.
That was
really similar, and he was very powerful. We need to take him out.
And this is basically where the unspoken I lost my I lost what I was thinking.
This is around the time when All Might comes in.
And so we glossed over something that happened. They figured out that they have to strike the Black Cloud guy so that they can move him out.
Bakugo, the Black Cloud guy has a metal brace around his neck, and that's the only part of him that's really physical. So Bakugo grabs and holds him to the ground.
Okay.
And Bakugo is pretty cool at that scene.
Yeah, it says, don't move if you don't want to die, pretty much, is what he says.
And so going forward from when All Might shows up after Ida goes and tells UA staff.
All Might's like, oh god, my students are going to die if I don't step in. I don't have time left in my muscle form because of the injury earlier.
So back to where Midoriya's standing, he just smacked this Nomu with a full force punch. And then, you think Nomu's going to get his hands on Midoriya at this point. You really do believe that. And All Might, nick of time. Boof.
Boom. A big old puncheroo.
Knocks the Nomu back. The first time you see it even flinch in a fight so far.
Wow.
And they're going, and All Might...
Oh, wait, no. We said this wrong. No. Nomu was about to punch Midoriya in the face, and All Might stepped in and shoved him out of the way and got punched up. The punch sent him flying all the way to the wall of the USJ.
Okay, that's what it was.
Then he climbed out of the wreckage and sprinted back.
Okay.
And All Might takes a lot of
That was a
hits,
heavy hit.
And I'm pretty sure this is another point when he loses time in his muscle form.
Yes.
Because of how much damage he takes in this fight.
So he starts throwing a few punches to the Nomu. Realizes it's really not doing anything. So he grabs the Nomu, suplexes him. But Shigaraki, it was Shigaraki, the small guy, help out the Nomu. No, it was the small guy. He teleported the Nomu, I believe.
And All Might's partially in the portal.
Yes. And now the small guy, if he were to close the portal, it would just cut All Might in half.
Wow.
So at that point, the students are rushing in to help stop the small guy. That's when Bakugo leaps down and grabs him. We got a little out of order.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I get it.
But Nomu's sitting there with his fingers lodged inside of All Might's chest.
Jeez.
Or stomach, where he got injured. You can see the blood pouring out of the side of him. So all the students work together and attack the Nomu, freeze part of his body. Todoroki froze half of his body.
Whoa.
And then... I don't remember who else attacked, but shattered the ice, which destroyed half of the Nomu's body.
Wow.
Which allowed time for All Might to pull the Nomu's hand out of his chest and kind of just get back on equal footing again.
And the Nomu has regeneration and shock absorption.
Yes. Incredible regeneration. He regrows the half of his body within a few seconds.
Okay.
And shock absorption, which All Might, we speculate it's kind of like an energy stockpile, so it's more energy, so the shock absorption is the direct counter, pretty much.
Oh, wow.
They built him to take down All Might.
All Might, so I'm going to skip to the end of this fight.
Yes. All Might trades over 300 punches in under a second, I believe. with him.
He says, "Not my best work. It's been a while since I was in my prime." But the Nomu just kind of flies away.
Well, yeah, basically, since it's shock absorption and not shock nullification, there's a limit to how much shock it can take. So he just punches 8 as fast as he can until it, like, basically surpasses the limit that it can absorb the shock, and it just sends him
Which
flying.
also put All Might past his limit.
Yes, well past his limit, and it's therefore greatly shortened the time. I think he can only use his muscle form for 45 minutes after that.
Wow.
And that's
From
not even
3 hours to 45 minutes.
that's not even enough time to teach a full class.
No.
Jesus.
Recovery girl can't help. Nobody can really help him.
No, that's a permanent injury
Wow.
that's irrecoverable because of his previous injury from
And now
the
he's
fight.
passed down the All for One to Midoriya,
Yeah, he did that earlier, yes.
and it's just all around weakening him.
Oh, and might I add, when Midoriya punched the Nomu, he did not get injured at all. There was no backlash. He assumes that happened because he did it purely on instinct without thinking about it. Because the other times he had overthought about using his quirk, and that possibly could have been a reason why he got such serious backlash.
I also, when his arm wasn't broken, I thought Aizawa stopped him.
He did not.
To be honest. But then he says, my arm didn't break when I did that.
Yes, his arm did not break. It was in a lot of pain, but did not break. So I think that wraps us up for season 1.
All right. Next Weeb reviews, which will be, I don't think it'll be next week, because next week we'll be talking about 16 Dede types in animes and mangas.
Yes.
And
Toga.
then she is mentioned.
And
I
then-
mentioned that.
And then the week after, we will probably do season 2, where we discuss basically what we did today.
Yes.
I do want to mention, though, a few little quick fun facts, though. I looked this up earlier today, and I make sure that it was true. The girl who voice act Suyu, the frog.
The frog?
Yeah. Her name in the English dub, I looked this up in the English dub. Her name is Monica Riel. I think that's Riel.
They never called her that. They always called her.
No, the voice
Suyu,
actor.
the
The
voice
voice
actor.
actor.
Oh, okay, no, right. Sorry.
But
the voice actor. I didn't mean
she's actually one of the most, I want to say, well-known English voice actor or voice actresses, because she's played in a good amount of animes that I've seen, and I think you've heard of them. I'll go over a few minor ones, and then I'll get to the one that I really wanted to share with.
Any etchies?
Yes, actually, the main
He doesn't
one.
like some
Hold
action,
on,
Oppai.
Okay, Oppai. She played Tomoko Kuroki from the Wanamoe series, one of my favorite series, even though that is a weird series. She played Maho. She played Maho from Steins Gate Zero, and you're gonna love this one. She played Anna in Shimonetta. Love Nectar.
If you haven't seen Shimonetta, go watch it. Just not when your parents are in the room. It's incredibly perverse.
It's
That's
so
its whole
weird.
plot.
It's
I heard Minetta, so I mean.
Shimonetta.
Shimonetta. Actually, the good Netta.
Yeah. Wow. Wait. No, Minetta's okay. Calm down.
No. You've only seen the first episode. You cannot say anything
And
about
heard what
Minetta.
we've said about him so far.
Sticky
balls.
balls. Fine.
Okay,
That's the only reason why I like him.
So to do what we did in the last episode, has anybody had any change of characters, character preferences or anything?
I actually have had a slight change. So, Otaku, I still think is best girl for Midoriya. My favorite best girl, I don't know why, Mina.
Oh.
Okay,
My personal best girl.
and I'm really into Okay, so first explain Mina, because we haven't really gone into detail on her character.
We haven't gotten too much detail. She's in Class 1A. Her quirk is acid. She's able to create acid from her hands and, other body parts, able to, basically can skate across concrete because she's creates the acid under her feet. Mm-hmm. It's a very versatile quirk. She's also able to spray the acid with her hands if she, cups her hands into a cone, I believe.
That's later on.
That's later
way
on.
later
though.
on.
Oh, I'm sorry. We were just...
Is she the one that looks like
She is the pink skin.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, because I just pulled that
Pink
up.
skin, pink hair, has a little antennas,
Yeah.
black eyes.
For me, I really like the shipping, but first off, I have to say my best girl preference changed. I started to prefer Toga. I like her character design, and overall personality, really.
I don't like the psychopathic murderer personality.
But also, I started playing the game too.
Yes, the One's Justice, I believe,
Yep.
right?
But to go into detail, I also have a new ship that I really like. It's Jiro and Kaminari. It creates the quirk Livewire, which I just love the idea of. It's
Even without the quirk, I feel like I feel like their personalities kind of click.
yeah.
know?
But he was also created to be able to click with anybody because he's created
He's
to
such a likable character.
pull the class together, really.
Yes.
And Bakugo even. Oh, that's way later on. Never mind. I'll save that for later on.
Yeah. That's later.
The thing is as well as after we get done with My Hero Academia in terms of Weeb reviews, we're actually going to change up how we do Weeb reviews, because
They're going to be about this kind of the same pace this is.
Same pace.
I think a season and episode of Weeb reviews is probably what we're going to pace ourselves with.
Yeah, and then just after we discuss what happens in the season and describe the arcs,
The
in
newest
detail,
season, the newer
more
seasons are going to
likely-
be more in depth than the older seasons
Yeah.
because they're more relevant.
Yeah, and then we'll discuss, what we think about each arc and stuff like that. Honestly, I haven't seen much of anything from Boku no Hero Academia just quite yet. But don't you make that face? I know what you were thinking. Get out of here. Get out of here. You're not a guest anymore. No, okay. One of my, if I had to pick one of the arcs that we discussed today, I do say I do like the USJ arc a lot.
Then you should actually watch instead of watching more slice of life.
You know what?
This is
Okay,
Weeb reviews. You gotta watch what we're reviewing, man.
Okay,
Come on.
I'm trying to.
No, you're not.
Okay.
You watched an entire season and some more.
I watched
You
these-
rewatched Citrus,
I
which
did
we
not.
named as one of our worst.
I did
anime.
not. That's a lie.
Bull.
That's all. I watched this.
Guilty pleasure.
I watched the second season of the Chinibyo series. Okay, that was it.
Yeah, instead of watching the second season, you could have started on My Hero Academia.
Binged
That will
all 4
review it.
seasons.
I'll binge all 4 seasons when I don't have
I
work.
give you a week to finish. I give you to the end of this week, Sunday,
End of this
to
week?
finish season 1.
Okay, season 1. Okay, that's more doable. I was fearing you were gonna say season 4, and I was like, I can't because I have
can
work
do it.
Wednesday.
Just don't sleep.
Okay, but here's the thing.
I finished.
You don't have a job.
I finished 6 episodes a night.
I watched the entire series of Citrus in one night. I didn't like
That's
it though.
just bull crap. That's because it's your guilty pleasure, and you like pleasuring yourself.
Okay,
Turning your
we've
brain-
kind
Okay,
of
calm
we've
down.
kind of gone
Yeah.
off the rails here. Check that explicit box, and
gonna-
I want to
I'm
say
gonna-
thanks to everybody for watching, and thank you,
gonna
Braxton and
beat you,
Taylor, for
Braxton.
having me.
Yes,
I'm
and if
gonna
you made
beat
it
you.
this far, why don't you drop a like or a sub?
I'm
I'm not going.
We're not on YouTube.
Oh, well, this will be on YouTube. I mean, and if it's on Spotify, because it's gonna be, drop us a follow, please.
Okay.
Would be very appreciated.
All right.
That is enough selling it.
Tune in next week for the on the Otaku podcast. We'll discuss 16 Dead types in anime and manga. Then the week after, we'll do season 2 of Boku no Hero Academia in the same way we did it this week. Stop making that face. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and good night, everybody.
Boku no Pika.